I grew up in the countryside when I was little. Back then, things were pretty backward. If the family wanted to buy anything, we had to wait for market day and walk more than 10 li, about 5 kilometers, to the town. There was only one bumpy, potholed dirt road from the village to the town. It was really tough to walk on. On market days, the adults would set off at the crack of dawn. By the time they came back, it was pitch black, the kind of dark where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. I was a timid kid and terrified of the dark. I didn't dare walk at night, not even if an adult was with me, so I had never once gone to the market. But that one time was an exception. Early that morning, my uncle set off pushing his handcart to the market. Not long after he left, Grandma discovered that the money they had prepared for the market was still sitting on the table at home. How could anyone go shopping without a single penny? I was the oldest child in the house, so the task of delivering the money fell to me. Grandma didn't feel safe letting me go alone, so Mom told Grandma to go with me and take the chance to show me around the market. Grandma and I set off slowly toward town. By the time we arrived, it was almost noon. From a distance, we saw my uncle alone by the roadside at the market, stomping his feet in anxiety. When we walked up and called him, he grabbed us like we were his lifeline and asked if we had come to bring him money. Grandma scolded him for a while, then handed over the cash. After that, the three of us wandered around the market together. It was my very first time at a market. Stalls lined the streets selling everything you could imagine. I trailed behind them, looking left and right, as happy as if it were a holiday. Time slipped by unnoticed, and soon it was afternoon. My uncle and Grandma discussed it and decided that Grandma and I should head home first. Because old people walk slowly, starting early would get us home before dark. Uncle would wander a bit more on his own to see if there was anything else to buy. After they agreed, Grandma took me and we started back toward the village. But the sun set faster than we expected. By the time the sky was completely dark, we still hadn't reached home. Grandma was holding my hand, so at first I wasn't too scared. But as we walked, I noticed Grandma gripping my hand tighter and tighter. It even started to hurt. I couldn't see her face in the dark, so I whispered, "Grandma, you're holding too tight, it hurts." She didn't answer. I said it a little louder, but still no response. After a while, Grandma suddenly asked, "Do you see anyone?" Puzzled, I said, "No." Then she went silent again. Only her grip grew even stronger, and her pace quickened. She was practically dragging me along, and panic started rising in my chest. I didn't dare make another sound. We walked and walked until finally far ahead we saw the light at our front door. Mom was standing there holding a lantern. Only when we stepped inside and there was light did I see how deathly pale Grandma's face was. She was gasping for breath. I thought she was just exhausted from the walk. Mom quickly helped her to the bedroom to lie down and rest, then shooed me off to bed so I wouldn't disturb her. She herself sat by the table with the lamp, waiting for my uncle to come home. Lying in bed, I kept replaying Grandma's strange behavior on the night road. I tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. It got later and later, but my uncle still hadn't returned. Mom just kept waiting. I don't know when I finally drifted off, but I was woken the next morning by the noise of my uncle coming home. His face was ashen and he looked awful. He sat down and told my mom what had happened to him on the way back the night before. He said that not long after Grandma and I left, he finished shopping, bought a few things, and when he thought it was time, started pushing the cart home. It got dark pretty quickly. But the strange thing was, once it was completely dark, he noticed a large patch of bright light far ahead. He thought it was odd. Why was it so bright in the middle of the night? He kept walking toward it and gradually got closer. Only then did he see there was a crowd of people ahead, all walking with their backs to him, as if they were traveling together. There was no visible source of light around them, yet somehow the area was illuminated as bright as day. My uncle found it stranger and stranger. He pushed the cart faster, trying to catch up or pass them, but no matter how long he walked, he couldn't get past the crowd. The area seemed endless. He refused to believe it and just kept walking, all through the night. Only when the sky began to brighten in the morning did he realize he had long since left the dirt road home. He was in the middle of a huge graveyard. Beneath his feet were track after track from his cart wheels. He had practically flattened the ground. The wheel marks circled the entire cemetery, lap after lap after lap. Clearly, he had spent the whole night walking in circles around that graveyard. Terrified, my uncle pushed the cart and fled. After leaving the cemetery and going downhill a short distance, he found the dirt road again and hurried straight home. Mom listened, waved her hand, and said she didn't believe a word of it. Hurry up and eat breakfast. But I noticed that when Grandma heard the story, her face turned ugly again. I was so scared I didn't dare ask anything. From that day on, it was as if they had made a pact. None of them ever mentioned the incident again. Many years later, when I was grown up, the topic came up casually in conversation. Only then did Grandma tell me the truth about that night. She said that after it got dark and she was leading me along the dirt road, not long after we started, she saw a person standing in the middle of the path ahead. It was too dark to make out clearly, but when we brushed past, Grandma realized it was a woman in a white dress with very long hair. Grandma said she could clearly feel hair brushing across her face as we passed. She felt a vague unease but kept walking. Not much later, she again saw someone standing ahead in the middle of the road. When we got close, it was the same long-haired woman in the white dress. Grandma started to panic. She gripped my hand tightly and passed the woman again. The third time she saw that woman appear ahead of us, Grandma completely lost it. That's when she asked me if I saw anyone. I innocently said no. She didn't dare speak anymore and just dragged me along as fast as she could. All the way home, that woman in the white dress kept appearing in front of us, again and again. Grandma didn't dare stop even once. Only when she finally saw Mom standing at the door holding the lantern did she let herself relax. As for my mom, whenever this kind of story came up, she always insisted she didn't believe any of it. Just people scaring themselves. But in the countryside where we grew up, things like this happened quite often. I never knew whether Mom really didn't believe a single ghost story, or whether she just said that to comfort a cowardly child like me.